Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today we are listening to Joni Mitchell. This is not a first-time reaction. I have heard her many times before, but I haven't featured her on the channel yet. So today we are going to watch a performance from 1970, and the song is California. Here we go.
Sitting in a park in Paris, France, reading the news and it's all bad. They won't give peace a chance. That was just a dream some of us had. Still a lot of lands to see, but I wouldn't want to stay here. It's too old and cold and settled in its ways here. Oh, but California, California, I'm coming home. I'm gonna see the folks I dig. I'll even kiss a sunset peak, California, when I get home. I met a redneck on a Grecian Isle who did the goat dance very well. He gave me back my smile, but he kept my camera to sell. Oh, the rogue, the red rogue. He cooked good omelettes and stews, and I might have stayed on with him there, but my heart cried out for you, California. Oh, California, I'm coming home. Oh, make me feel good, rock and roll band. I'm your biggest fan, California, I'm coming home.
I know I'm not saying anything new, but she is brilliant. Like, it's just, I can't help but anytime I watch or even listen to her music, but when I get to see these performances, I marvel at so many things. Obviously, incredible musician. Her songwriting is absolutely incredible and so different. It's unique. It is just, it's unique to her. I mean, no one has ever done anything like it. And then vocally, I love the natural sound of her voice, but that doesn't take away from the skill and the facility and the dexterity that she has vocally. I'm not, I know this is, I believe this is a strophic song, like it just repeats the melody, so I'm not gonna go back all the way. I think we'll be able to catch a few things. Let's see.
Big California when I get home.
She's just so graceful and so comforting to watch as she plays, as she sings. It's mesmerizing. I am really gonna have to focus to find my words. Just then, that home, tiny little detail, but just hanging out on the M, continuing the sound with that hum, was a gorgeous choice.
I met a redneck on a Grecian Isle.
You know I'm going to talk about registration. She starts in chest, I met, and then she immediately pops up into head voice. It's such a beautiful light head voice, but still very consistent, very present. It suits her music so well.
Who did the goat dance very well. He gave me back my smile, but he kept my camera to sell. Oh, the rogue!
The way she delivers the text, her storytelling, that tiny little pause before, but he kept my camera to sell. And then we got an increase in dynamics. Like, there's so much that happens in this song. And I think the very first time I heard it, I didn't quite get it. I think that was it. The interval jumps are so big. I was struggling to really latch onto a melody, and everyone learns music a little differently, but I think for me, because there was such consistent shift in registration, and then, you know, we had these big intervals. The timing, sometimes it's, you know, where to pause, where to emphasize certain words. There's just a lot that happens. When she does it, it sounds so harmonious. But when you look at the sheet music, or you're trying to figure it out for the first time, I mean, not everybody. I know there are lots of incredibly skilled musicians that get it in an instant. But for me, it was a bit of a challenge because so much is happening. And it's so effortless for her. But for some singers who don't, I don't know, who aren't at home necessarily in this style, it takes a little bit of education and a little bit of work.
Met a redneck on a Grecian Isle who did the goat dance very well. He gave me back my smile, but he kept my camera to sell. Oh, the red rogue, he cooked good omelets and stews.
I know I'm pausing so much. Get out now if you hate it. Get out now, because it's gonna keep happening. Rogue, that is, whenever you're in head voice, the tendency for a lot of singers, especially after an O vowel, is to allow a little bit of depression in the tongue. And you'll get a little bit of a curl in the root of the tongue. So to use the root of the tongue to then, after this O vowel in head voice, create that G sound, rogue, it takes a little bit of effort, but it's important to the text, it's important to the story, and I love the way she does it.
Oh, the red rogue, he cooked good omelets and stews, and I might have stayed on with him there, but my heart cried out for you, California.
Phrasing.
Oh, California, I'm coming home.
That too,
Oh, make me...
after you're in head voice and finding your way into a mix as you descend, so that, again, it all sounds so well connected. That was gorgeous.
I'm coming home. Oh, make me feel good, rock and roll band. I'm your biggest fan. California, I'm coming home. Oh, it gets so lonely when you're walking and the streets are full of strangers. All the news are home. You read, just give you the blues. So I bought a ticket, I caught a plane to Spain, went to a party down a red dirt road. There were lots of pretty people there, reading Rolling Stone, reading Vogue. They said, how long can you hang around? I said, a week, maybe two, just until my skin turns brown. Then I'm going home to California. Oh, California, I'm coming home. Oh, will you take me as I am, strung out on another man? California, I'm coming home.
I love the places she chooses to put a little smile in. Sometimes it's a cheeky smile, sometimes it's an endearing smile, and obviously that varies depending on the text, but you just feel like, I can only imagine what it was like being there, because it just feels so magical and so special, even though everything is so simple.
Oh, it gets so lonely when you're walking and the streets are full of strangers. All the news are home. You read more about the war and the bloody changes. Oh, will you take me as I am? Will you take me as I am? Ah, will you take me as I am? Oh, will you take me as I am?
there are two things I want to mention about her registration. You'll notice as she went higher and we got to hear that beautiful range on top, there was a little bit more air in the sound. And as you ascend and your chords get thinner, they naturally separate a little bit more. And so rather than engaging more muscle and using a lot of air pressure, it sounds like she prioritizes dynamics and overall aesthetic for the sake of the text, rather than, really working hard to bring those chords together. And I just think we don't hear it as often anymore. And I've always loved that about her style. But the other thing you'll notice is you don't hear, well, I guess it depends on the song, but like in this song, you didn't hear a lot of yodeling. And I don't mean yodeling as in, bars and bars of yodeling, but I mean, anytime she was flipping from head into a mix or into chest voice, those transitions were seamless. You didn't hear that little shift. It's a beautiful sound when singers use it, so there's nothing wrong with it, but it just goes to show, again, how she would prioritize her intentions for the song, and she still used a very natural approach vocally, but that does take a lot of dexterity to avoid those little yodel sounds. I mean, if it's not intentional and you're, really transitioning from one voicing, like mixed voice or chest voice, into head voice, some singers you'll hear something that feels like a little glitch or a little break or a little crack. Some singers use those sounds and finesse them into something that feels more like a little flip or a yodel. But she just eliminated them entirely, despite the fact that she could have used them a ton because of how much of her range she had to span in this song. So that was cool. Anywho, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.